What's up, YouTube? It's Brandon here, and as you can see, I got a better webcam for these videos. Microphone sucks, but I'm getting there. And thanks to Johan for letting me use a webcam that's pretty decent. So today on Patreon and tomorrow on Instagram, we got the second installation of the Story of God. And yeah, this one's really important. For me, this is where God kind of fucks it up. And when God fucks up, normally it's because God starts to act kind of human. Almost as a rule, he starts acting human. And in this case, God's first sin against himself is loneliness. He decides he wants to make some sentient beings to befriend him and hang out. So he makes Adam using a bunch of clay, a little ball of clay. He makes Adam. And then he makes Eve, and we're off to the races. I mean, here we are, right? All these years later. It's pretty cool. It's a lot less celestial than God from the first page. Today covers 126 to 215, and we see God, doing it, making people, putting them in there, deciding that they're going to run the whole thing. He takes his break, chills out, the Sabbath and all that, right? And then he creates the Tigris and Euphrates, and I guess the Pishon and the Gihon, which nobody's really quite sure what rivers those were, but it was a long time ago. Rivers come and go, so who can say? I think it's kind of cool that it's a mystery. And then also, he introduces the tree of knowledge. Bad call. Um, Not sure why. Not sure why he decided to do that. I mean, Adam and Eve were cavemen. Not even cavemen. And cavemen could hunt and gather, fire, all that kind of stuff. These these people were morons. Let's face it. They had to be. They had to be. And for the other thing, they lived in a garden completely free from any kind of threat or danger. And then he puts this fucking tree up, and he's like, "Hey, don't eat from this tree." Um, so yeah, I think this is where God starts being human. And honestly, I might have mentioned it last time. I think that's where for me, the humor in the Bible is uh, because with the Old Testament anyway, because the guy's very human, like more human than human, as Rob Zombie might say. Uh, Lonely and and also kind of a dick, which I think is a pretty human trait, sadly. But I mean, it's been part of my human lexicon in the past. I'm sure most people it's been, except for like, you know, maybe Scott hasn't been a dick very much. But anyway, yeah. So Genesis 126 to 225 is up, and a lot happens again. These early pages, you've got serious stuff happening. Some scientists say there's like billions of years condensed into these few verses. And I think creating people is crazy. And having a tree with magical fruit, they say that you eat once, you gain knowledge of good and evil. You eat twice, you become immortal, which is a lot to lay on a couple of morons who just popped up out of the garden. Anyway, it's up on Patreon today. Today is the 27th of April, 2021. Tomorrow will be up on Instagram. Again, it's 5 a week on Patreon, 3 a week on Instagram. And I've been doing Exodus, yes, all weekend and all yesterday. And I'm having a great time. I can't wait until you guys meet Moses. Really cool guy, very powerful, wrathful, and I think Moses is probably the best friend God ever had, because Moses doesn't really go in for God's You know, he's kind of like God's therapist. You'll see what I mean later. Again, you know, in the book of Exodus, there's a ton of stuff, just like in the book of Genesis, people just don't talk about. Um, you know, it's kind of like the director's cut when you go verse to verse. You don't skip over any. I can't skip over anything. If it's in the Bible, it's in the cartoon. It's in the Old Testament, I should say. It's in the cartoon. And yeah, so thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the cartoon. I'll be back tomorrow. And buenos dias. Now I got to turn this off. The new webcam is on a little shelf above my laptop. So when I look at my screen, I don't see, I don't, you know, I'm not like looking at the camera. So I got kind of, I'll figure it out. Don't worry. But anyway, hey, higher resolution. You can see my beautiful, beautiful skin, I guess. I'll see y'all later.